thank God. Call Lee FaceTime. Facebook 8 to 9. Instagram till it's time to get out the bed and shower. And that's gonna be another hour. Man, why I'm always late. I can't even sit down for a plate to eat. Barely sleep, that's on me though. Cat is swinging my seat low. I got Fox on repeat, so I sing slow motion or Evo. Hit the studio and sequel everything from yesterday. I came in late, so I stay late. Whip a beat and I be straight. Hoping that I get a couple sales or a bubble. Keep myself from stressing by my doubts and my struggles. I need to take my girl out tonight, I'd rather cuddle. Yeah, I just got paid, but them bills on the way. I'ma get money, spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. Yes, I need to save, but today I'ma get money, spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. Yes, I need to save, but today I'm wake up, thank God. Call Lee FaceTime. Podcast 8 to 9. Tony Evans, meditate, read scripture, medicate. Never thirsty, I'm forever grateful. I may slip, but you forever faithful. I've been told I'll run it though, but I back to it. I'm on my daily grind. My people good, but they ain't great, so it's a must I find. A better way to live if it's here, I don't get it. Gotta pay the loans off, save money, build credit, put a ring on Lee. Cause Beyonce said it, if you like it, better put a ring on it. Let's get it. Hoping that I get a couple sales on. Hey, keep myself from stressing by my doubts and my. Hey, need to take my wife out tonight, I'd rather cuddle. Yeah, I just got paid, but them bills on the way. I'ma spend money, waste time. Spend money, waste time. Spend money, waste time. Yes, I need to save, but today I'ma get money, spend money, waste time. Spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. I need to save, but today I'ma get money, spend money, waste time. Get money, spend money, waste time. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite tracks I made. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Maddie, sitting down with the current Sounds Like Home 8th edition. Right now, you just heard a track from JayGee. That song's called Waste Time. We're going to hear a couple more tracks from him right now.
You know, run it. Yeah. This was produced by me. Most of my tracks produced by me. And it's featuring my bro Dre. He in H-Town. Shout out to him. Yeah. And I was born in 92, I'm from the boot. I kick it like them old folks, I'm old school. They tell me that my friends sick, they all blue. I don't rock 2 chains, but I spit true shit. Now they on the way. Hey, they feeling the way. Now they on the way. They feeling the way. The coolest to do it, I'm so smooth with it. Stay in the pocket, I keep a groove with it. Check the foundation, I got it blueprinted. I ain't new to this, I've been doing this. Now they on and I don't blame them. Kill it every time, no rerun. BRC, baby, Russia, I came from. Leonard Jackson, who I got the game from. I prayers for the better if I change up. I'm that same one. With my faith in the Most High, I know I'm A1. They told me that I was something special day one. And I was born in 92, I'm from the boot. I kick it like them old folks, I'm old school. They tell me that my friends sick, they all blue. I don't rock 2 chains, but I spit true shit. Now they on the way. Hey, they feeling the way. Now they on the way. They feeling the way. Now everybody on the way. And I ain't even getting paid. Hey, because my kick game proper, fit sick, need doctors. Got a swag that ain't nobody got. See, when I enter the room, they all stuck like glue. They on my wave like a stocking cap. Hey, Why you mad? Only thing that I ask, I ain't never hate on no man. I put my faith in the Lord when I'm down on my last day on my way like the sand. Do what I want with the can because 92, I'm from the boo. Kick it like them old folks, I'm old school. They tell me that my friend's sick, they all blue. I don't rock 2 chains, but I spit true shit. Now they on the way. Hey, they feeling the way. Now they on the way. They feeling the way. Feeling the way. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah, oh, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Now they on the hey. Blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. No. Can't blame it on God no more. Can't blame it on God no more. Hey. Blame it on God no more. Cause he didn't tell you do this, man. Can't blame it on God no more. Stop lying. Yeah. Blame it on God no more. You using the Lord's name in vain. And that's a lie. Hey. You's a lie. The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Moment of silence for the ones that left. I had to catch my breath. I got 99 problems and the cop is one. And he waiting on the block just to pop him one. Shit, if 99 cops good, stop the one. Before he stopped the heart and stopped the lungs. They trained them to take us, so stop the funds. Change the system or change begun. I ain't gotta earn these rights cause they was given. In the womb I was given life in the mission. Fights in the system of wolves wearing sheep's clothes. It's the Roman Empire in the time of Nero, hey. Blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. Cause he's alive. Can't blame it on God no more. He's alive. Can't blame it on God no more. Hey, blame it on God no more. Hey, yeah. You can't blame it on God no more. Hey, you can't blame it on God no more. Hey, blame it on God no more. Listen, march, step. People get chills when we march, step. Shit gets real when together we step. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, blame it on the president, he blame it on the press. CNN, Fox, and social media next. They blame it on us because we supply the net. Some of us in poverty, but all of us in debt. How you enslave in Christ's name? How you take kids from their family? How you got a legal game? How you got us thinking that we free and legalize privatized prisons in Amendment 13? You's a lie. No, you can't. Can't blame it on God no more. Nuh-uh. Can't blame it on God no more. The devil is a lie. Can't blame it on God no more. Hey, blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. Hey, listen, I said march, step. People get chills when we march, step. Shit gets real when together we step. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, march, step. People get chills when we march, step. Shit gets real when together we step. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more. You can't blame it on God no more.
Back when I was walking, I dreamed about ballin'. I was playing ball then. I ain't think that this would happen. I just got a callin'. Big bro say we all in.
Hey.
When I blow, we all win.
Check it.
Ghetto dreams, they really could happen.
Listen, what would you do with the money? Buy you a coupe with the money. Drop top cruise through the hood with the money. Throw it out the roof like you get the money. You and you get the money. Hoping I can spread love when I get my bread up. Speak life to the people fed up. It's hard, but you gotta keep your head up. Long-term investments made us. Them 40 acres gone, better pay up. I ain't trying to hear nothing about equal rights. I ain't been stealing before all my life. Trying to ball like Oprah and shine a light. In the dark as I walk through the valley of life, I mean death, my perception is changing, right? But
back when I was walking, I dreamed about balling. I was playing ballin'. I ain't think that this would happen. I just got a callin'. Big bro say we all in. When I blow, we all win. Ghetto dreams that really could happen.
Lead me, show me all the things I ain't seeing. Turn me around if I'm still deep in. Tell me now it's just me and you. Ringtone loud cause the world is too. Fame still calling and the game is too. I forward them the mail but I can't miss you. Praying daily cause I'm seeking truth. Bad reception but you still come through. Tell me it's a go and I go with my mood. Every single show I'ma show up with you. Hoping through my voice you would show them the truth. Me and the fam winning and we ain't gon' lose. I remember dreaming this when I was in school. Up all night with the street lights. You wouldn't believe it if I said I knew.
Back when I was walking, I dreamed about ballin'. I was playing ballin'. I ain't think that this would happen. I just got a callin'. Big bro say we all in. When I blow, we all win. Ghetto dreams, they really could happen.
Maddie sitting down with JayGee. You just heard Can't Blame It and a couple more tracks from him there. JayGee, how are you doing today?
I'm here. I ain't got no complaints. I'm good.
Good. Yeah.
So how about you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. Glad it's a little warmer today than it has been. You're from Duluth. What is your sort of involvement in the music scene like there?
Okay, so yeah, I'm in the Cloquet, Duluth area. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I've been here about 8 years, and it's supportive, you know, as far as artists and the community supporting the artists. It's cold and you're inside a lot, so that gives you a lot of time to kind of think about, you know, projects that you're working on and stuff like that. I mean projects to work on and stuff, to get that time to just kind of think and not go crazy with you know how things are. So
yeah. I know you do some work with Jaxon Creatives and some other artists in the area. What is your kind of what kind of collaborative projects have you been working on?
So I've been working with a few different artists, and mostly in the dance and fam. Iana, DJ. Oh, no. Dang. Can we do that part of it?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Do you want me to ask the question again, or just go right back into your answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you work with Jaxon Creatives. What kind of recent collaborative projects have you been working on?
So I collaborate with mostly artists in the dance and fam, and critiquing my music as well. And I mean, doing that helps me do that. Artists that I've been working with are Afro Geode, Unprotected Woman. She also has a project with Ren from One Less Guess. And that's called Just Be, and it's on the way. She's going to be premiering that pretty soon, actually, through NPR up here. And I've been working with Men of Sounds. He's a producer here. Shay, Dance and Creatives, Royalty, Dance and Creatives. Back home, you know, in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Well, he's actually in Houston now. My bro Dre, GH Dre, he's down there working on stuff and performing. And yeah. Oh, and also I got to shred out with he did the shred, Nick Muska. He's also with One Less Guess. We didn't say it was like putting something out, but we just got the jam and recorded and worked on some tracks because I mostly produce.
Cool. Yeah, it sounds like you've been really busy recently, working on a lot of different projects.
I try to, and that's the side project stuff. I also work full-time at Fond du Lac Chapel Community College, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm the studio coordinator there, so I work. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask you what you do at Fond du Lac Community College.
So I went to school there, and my last semester, really, I wasn't even taking classes. I was waiting until the graduation. I got hired full time. Well, it was through a grant, and then they hired me on full time after that to basically, be the tech guy in the digital art studio there, and yeah, and actually that company that hired me kind of third party to contract for the studio at the college. In progress, they're down in the cities in St. Paul, and I'm on the board of directors there. So shout out to IP, Chris Sorensen, the whole fam down there too.
Yeah, it sounds like you definitely stay busy, I guess, then with your day job and your projects outside of that. How have you found kind of sort of a balance over the past year of pandemic and lockdown life in making all of that work happen?
Balance.
or just maybe how's your outlook changed? Okay, good.
I'm learning how to keep balance, I guess. Yeah.
Do you think your outlook on sort of collaboration has changed at all over the course of the pandemic and stuff like that?
Yeah, throughout life. I mean, because I'm protective, or have been very protective, and I don't necessarily think that's from nature, but more so nurture. When I was younger and I was starting to make music and stuff like that, I had a few times where I was working on stuff, and then people would try to take it, or and there was one time a group, actually, and I ain't going into it too much, but it was a time where one of my songs, basically the whole kind of hook of it was taken by another group, and since then it's been hard for me to put it out or collab with people and stuff like that. So
yeah.
But I like collabing now, especially with people who are, as driven and want to really put out a message,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of message is important for you to put out in your work?
For me, to listen, to pay attention. I think, no, not I think, I know one of the biggest things for me is definitely to understand that it's different perspectives. And even though I might have something to say and stuff like that, it's true to me, this is where I'm coming from. But to understand that everybody else got this different perspective of the world. And even being I'm a follower of Christ, I want to make sure I say that too, and not just be like, oh, I'm all, churchy kind of, but to practice that, and what that truly means to love people, and to even people who don't like you, what does that truly mean, and not the idea that we have of what love is, because a lot of the times it's just based off of the happy stuff, but and we can go and we could probably have a conversation about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love to have conversations, especially with people who don't, see stuff how I see it. Most people don't. But and to respect who they are, where they're coming from, to listen, and to just really just listen. That's the biggest thing,
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that as a musical artist, as someone who's sharing your stories and messages, your first thought was to say that your music is to inspire others to listen and for you to listen. That's a really interesting outlook.
Yeah, sometimes I overthink it, so I try not to, I try not to act like I got it all figured out, and so with most things, I'm double checking, triple checking, myself, not on a daily, and yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a really great outlook to have with your art. When did you start making music? What got you interested in like creating?
I started making music when I was 9 years old.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was, yeah, I was just writing music. I actually was
Mm-hmm.
just telling my in-laws yesterday about
Mm-hmm.
when I was in the fifth grade. So I was like 11, 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
One of my, I think 10, yeah. My teacher found my notebook, and when I went to the office for something, and he
Mm-hmm.
was reading all my lyrics out loud to the classroom, and I was like, I felt like so embarrassed, but and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not story, but because
Mm-hmm.
like I was young and I talked about a lot of reckless stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, that's what I was listening to, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to listen to. My parents didn't really want me to listen to stuff with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
cursing, but I mean, I just, yeah. Yeah. And then I think it's a way to express yourself. A lot of people say
Mm-hmm.
that it shows that, it shows that you can't articulate yourself very well. I mean, maybe, I mean, if it's just a natural reaction, or it's like you don't think about what you say too much, maybe sometimes, but that don't mean you're an idiot. Just like you like using some
Mm-hmm.
spicy words sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I started making music when I was 9,
Mm-hmm.
uh, writing, and then I recorded for the first time when I was 11. I
Wow.
started making beats and like recording people in my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
in my school. I started recording and stuff when I was 12, going into 13. Is right when I was about to be 13. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it
hmm
sounds like you've been doing what you do for a long time, and it's cool that it had such a big impact on your sort of growing up like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm still learning. So yeah,
Absolutely.
and fun. Yeah.
Yeah. We have one song left to hear from you. Do you have anything you want to tell our audience today about Light in the Darkness?
So Light in the Darkness is a song reflecting back to when I was, teen, preteen,
Mm-hmm.
middle school years, and even throughout life. But I'm focusing on that one time, but it's throughout life, being able to see the light in the darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and to not get so caught up in like how crazy stuff is, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that go on, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's still being able to see this goodness in it. I don't know. I can't. Yeah,
No, that sounds
yeah.
great. I think that's a good way of putting it. I think that's I yeah, cool. Okay. Thank you so much, JayGee, for sitting down and talking to me today. This has been Sounds Like Home, the 8th edition of it. And we're going to listen to one more song from JayGee before we roll out. This is Light in the Darkness.
Yeah. And this is the light in the darkness. I seen you the other day, I seen you right where I stay. I seen you, my brother say he ain't noticed, but good Lord, I seen you. Oh boy, I seen you. I know, I seen you. I'm thankful that I seen you. I seen you the other day, I seen you right where I stay. I seen you, my brother say he ain't noticed, but good Lord, I seen you. Oh boy, I seen you. I know, I seen you. Hey, and I'm happy like my people for the 44th president. To see you at my residence in Eden Park, the evidence of wildlife and gun toting right on the street. I'm on the phone with a girl that I probably won't meet. It's just a 20-minute walk, but our hoods and beef. And it so happens that our cousins all know about me. Shit, I ain't messy, but my homie is. And the law states that if I can't get you, your homie gotta get the biz. I'm 13 with the glitz, hot as the sun. And it's the middle of July, so niggas spraying for nothing. You never catch me slipping in these Air Force Ones. Practice started about a weekend, I'm in need of a run. I know my pops was a gangster in the day he was young, but I still see the word when he look at his son. Man, they still bury kids, and it just don't some add up or nothing. But I'm thankful cause I seen you the other day, I seen you right where I stay. I seen you, my brother say he ain't noticed, but good Lord, I seen you. Oh boy, I seen you. I know, I seen you. I'm thankful that I seen you.
I seen you the other day, I seen you right where I stay. I seen you, my brother say he ain't noticed, but good Lord, I seen you. Oh boy, I seen you. I know, I seen you. I'm thankful that I seen you. I seen you the other day, I seen you right where I stay. I seen you, my brother say he ain't noticed, but good Lord, I seen you. Oh boy, I seen you. I know, I seen you. I'm thankful that I seen you. I'm thankful.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, a virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music from across the state. Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is sponsored by Gardner Builders and made possible by Minnesota's Legacy Amendment and you. Your support keeps the current strong and makes sure that independent music and the emerging artists featured today always have a home on the Current. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org because great music lives here.
It sounds like Home VIII, and we are celebrating music from all around the state. And I hope you are having one iota as much fun as I am, because this stuff is so great, especially this music from the Ultrasounds. We just heard Black Hole Moon, and I'm really excited to get to meet everybody from the Ultrasounds and find out all about this band that's actually been rocking for 10 years. So let's welcome Todd, Megan, Amber, and Courtney. First off, thanks so much for being a part of Sounds Like Home.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I was preparing for this interview, and I was watching some videos of y'all playing shows, and I was listening to your music, and I found it to be so fun. And I understand that a lot of times if you say music is fun, maybe you envision like happy, happy, go-go beats and things like that, and that's really not the sound y'all provide. But the songs are really well written, the playing is really good, and it sounds like y'all are having fun in a room with loud instruments. You've been doing this for 10 years. Why is it still working? Why are y'all still doing it? And is it half as much fun to be in this band as it is to listen to y'all?
Oh, wow.
It's super fun. Oh, my God.
I think
I still think
thing.
it's
Well, I say, first of all, thanks. And
Courtney, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say we started out as friends first, and I know that having friendship as the base of our band has really helped us maintain just like a goofy, sort of playful side. And, to be in a band for 10 years, some of your best friends, best memories are kind of encapsulated into our sound, I think.
This band is one of my longest relationships. I don't. We never get sick of each other.
That's true.
And
we haven't really sick of each other.
but like a good relationship, right?
Sometimes on tour we get sick of each other.
Yeah.
Some of us.
When we're debating which hotel to stay at, because some of us like, different caliber of hotel.
So who's the Motel 6 cheapo? Let's get it right out there in the open.
Wow.
Todd?
Yeah.
We have lots of stories.
And even a crusty floor, because that's a good value, and there's friendships to be made, with the floors that you sleep on. Like, so I think, I'm a value guy, I'll say.
Yeah. Todd slept in a dog bed one time, if that gives you a good idea. Yeah. The three of us usually share a bed, and Todd gets a dog bed. Anyways, what was the question? We do have
We're
fun.
just talking about how great y'all are and how much fun you are. And it's even across a weird Zoom room, it's clear that y'all have a lot of affection for each other. And Todd, you should add to your LinkedIn profile, slept on a dog bed, and I'm sure the job offers are going to be coming through.
Yeah.
I'm going to point
Actually,
this one.
I do need to update that.
Yeah, you got to let everybody know. I'm going to point this one to Amber. With this group having gone for quite some time and having built up a touring history as well, what does it feel like to come back to your home base in Winona and collaborate with people there? Like, how do you relate to the rest of the music scene in Winona?
That's a really good question. I think that the music scene in Winona is kind of what makes Winona special. I think everyone would agree. So I think we just have such a good community. So playing in Winona, playing at Ed's No Name Bar is really our home base. And I think that's always the most fun show in the world, just because everyone you know and love is there. And I think, it's the most fun venue there is. So I love coming back to Winona and playing in Winona.
That's very, very cool. And it is one of these venues that has such a great reputation for players all around the state and beyond, of just like, oh, this is a place you go and you have a really good time playing on that stage. I've never gotten to play there, but I've gotten to watch a lot of bands play there. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to get to watch y'all play there. Let's get into another tune from this crew before we talk a little bit more. So let's check out song number 2. This one is Lucy, Sounds Like Home with the Ultrasounds. It sounds like Home 8, and we're listening to music from all around the state. And what a treat to be checking out the Ultrasounds, who are coming to us from Winona. We just heard the tune Lucy, and we're gonna get into one more tune. But first, let's talk a little bit with the Ultrasounds and find out what they're all about. Y'all have been together for 10 years. You've hit the road for a lot of those years. What has changed about hitting the road? What's different than it was, either for you personally or for the places you're playing compared to 10 years ago?
I feel like we like to play a lot of the same places, which is kind of part of they're like similar routes.
Yeah, I would say, a lot doesn't change about that, and the bathrooms are all exactly the same. Every venue has the same bathroom, it seems. So I don't know. How's
maybe less? I mean, it seems like recently there are fewer like DIY spaces. Like there were a lot of cool spots. It seemed like several years ago, like house shows and just weird spaces. But yeah, we got a new van, I guess, a new old van.
And it's
we always have van problems.
It's a little easier to book now with some more press from over there, and thanks to the Current, we have some. We have a couple of those blurbs, like the Current says, the Ultrasounds, and so that helps to book the show because they're like, oh, okay, well then I guess we can have them because. So in that respect, it's been a little easier to book the shows, but the venues seem the same.
So the only pull quote you're going to get from today is like, you should say that you slept on a dog bed. So unfortunately,
thank you.
The glowing testimonials that you've had from the Current before will not continue on into this chapter of the conversation. From bass player to bass player, I wanted to ask Courtney, how do you approach a lot of the songs I heard? The bass was doing what, in my opinion, it should do on the song, which is really supportive. I was hearing a bunch of like eighth notes and just holding it down, and I was hearing you guys are a great rhythm section. It's an awesome experience. How do you find your way in, Courtney, to playing bass in a band like this, keeping it interesting for yourself, but still doing what the song requires?
Yeah, so when I started playing with the Ultrasounds, I had actually never picked up a bass before. So I had learned how to play guitar, some power chords, and I loved music. I came into playing music as someone who first just loved listening to music. And we knew Megan was an awesome guitarist, and so I said, all right, I'll pick up bass. And so I started off as a bassist who played bass like guitar. And what I found out as I kind of got more interested in tone and more interested in the bass as an instrument is I just love doomy low end. I just love just like heavy doomy low end. And I think that's something that we all can kind of jive with, I guess. And so that kind of, I think, is how I approach playing bass in the Ultrasounds, is just trying to make it kind of doomy, kind of spooky, kind of heavy, and not get too serious about it. Be playful.
Well, it's working, and the fact that in your description you said doomy and playful, to me captures a lot of the energy of the Ultrasounds, because it seems I get the doomy vibe, but as I was saying, it puts a smile on my face to hear your music, And Megan, do you do the heavy lifting for the writing for the group?
I don't know if heavy lifting is the right term. We do kind of have a process. Like a lot of times I'll just have various ideas and a little bit ADD somewhat, like so I'll bring an idea usually to Amber next, and we'll kind of work out like a little more of the structure of the song, and then Todd will come in and help fill in some gaps, because the three of us actually live in Winona. Courtney lives up in the cities, so we'll kind of get like the bones of the song, and then we'll send Courtney like just a little rough demo or something, and she'll come up with her parts. And then when she's down in Winona, we usually focus our time working on new stuff rather than the songs we've been playing for 10 years that we all can pretty much remember at this point.
I feel like they come together when... I would say I feel like they come together when we're all actually playing together. There's ideas thrown out there, but they don't really come together as a song until we're all there. But yes, they're Megan's songs.
Yeah, we kind of build them all. We piece it all together, and then we birth it at Ed's usually. We like to birth our songs at Ed's.
Yeah. Well, Winona's lucky to have y'all. And a question for anybody in the group. As you've been doing this for 10 years now, have you been able to sort of support younger groups, encourage younger groups, bring them out, even open it up or hitting the road with y'all or anything like that? Is that part of the scene in Winona, connecting with the younger folks?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really have a lot of connections to the younger folks in Winona, but I think the music scene in general has grown a lot. I mean, there's way more women musicians than there ever were like 15 years ago when I was in my first band in Winona, and definitely more women and younger folks playing at Ed's, which is cool. It's just more musicians in general. And
I think there is like this with the youth thing. Like there isn't really like a house show place in Winona anymore, but there used to be this place called the Cancer House. I remember like a lot, that would be the younger band, like come play a show there, and and then later they would maybe end up at Ed's. And so I think, I mean, there is this comeuppance kind of thing that does happen. And I feel like, I remember when, when you see the older people playing in bands, you're like, oh yeah, I want to do that, and so I think that does happen in Winona. And it is like everybody knows each other. That's the cool thing about Winona, that if you're a musician there, it's like, it doesn't matter if you were like a bluegrass band or a fun doomy band as us, or like we all know each other, and we all like have probably maybe even jammed with each other, or if you're a drummer, say, you probably play in every band, just because So like that's just that's the Winona. It's very incestual, if you will.
Yeah. Quite a
musically incestual.
I mean, the three of me, Courtney, and Amber all play in other groups as well. And Amber's in, how many groups are you playing with now? 3?
4.
4. Okay, I see. But yeah, you just kind of, it's all kind of one scene, and everybody supports each other, and it's awesome. I'm really excited for shows to hopefully start up again soon. And it's been really weird not having bands sleep at our house like every weekend. Usually we're the ones that people call us up, hey, we're playing at Ed's, can we crash at your house? We're like, yeah. And then we stay up till like 5 in the morning and
make prank phone calls.
Oh man, I want it all back. I want all of this to come back, and it's wonderful to be Zooming with y'all. And Amber, I'm glad you're spending 10 minutes of your week not sitting on a drum stool for just to take a little break from your 4 bands and talk about this stuff. But just, I've spent some really fun nights in my life in Winona, and I love the scene there, and I'm so glad to be connecting with y'all. But I cannot wait till it's in person for maybe the Midwest Music Festival and just enjoying music together. I'm so glad to get to chat with y'all today. I'm so glad you guys are a part of Sounds Like Home. Thank you for making music for 10 years. Congratulations on 10 years. What's next for the group? And then let's get into this last tune.
Yeah, I was going to butt in really quick. I had a baby last April, and so I think the next chapter for me is like learning how to be a mom and a musician. And the timing of having a baby in April, when shows were, obviously just starting to get shut down, and now I'm like, okay, I got a 1-year-old kid. I can go back to playing shows. So I got kind of lucky with the timing. In that, I mean, that sounds horrible, but the timing of of when I have my baby. So I guess all this to say, I'm excited to learn how to be a mom and a musician. And
finally, our band name is Literal, I guess. So.
Yeah, we finally, after 10 years, have a mom in the band.
So, this is true. This was kind of foreshadowed. There's a photo that we took maybe in, I don't know, it was like 2013 or something, where Megan and Courtney were pretending they were pregnant. So it's kind of really
people thought we really were pregnant, and then we had to explain.
Yeah, they thought it was kind of one of those cutesy, like, But I'm like, well, it'd be a little too coincidental for both. But it's possible. It's possible.
I would be a jerk if I didn't say congratulations to you, Courtney. Like that's really beautiful. And I don't know, for you to say that it's good timing. I had my second child with my wife in February of 2020, and I guess as I bet you can imagine, having a child is such a life-altering experience that it's actually hard for me to tell you what the pandemic has exactly been like, because my life changed so much anyway. And so I get it, and I think it's fantastic that you're going to figure out how to be a musician and how to be a mom, and more power to you. That's awesome. And I know what it takes to keep a band going for a decade. I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy with work, with family, with having a kid, and all those things. So I tip my hat to y'all. I can't wait to see what's coming up for the Ultrasounds. And let's get into this last tune. So this one is Sociopath, and the Ultrasounds. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of Sounds Like Home. And can't wait to catch you at Ed's.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, a virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music from across the state. Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is sponsored by Gardner Builders and made possible by Minnesota's Legacy Amendment and you. Your support keeps the current strong and makes sure that independent music and the emerging artists featured today always have a home on the Current. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org because great music lives here.
Welcome to Sounds Like Home. I am Sean McPherson. I am so excited to be hanging out with y'all. I hope you are having a great day, and I hope you are ready to discover some great music from all around our region. Right now, I'm chatting with Jessica Vines out of the Fargo-Moorhead area. Jessica, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Jessica, I've had the opportunity to listen to a lot of your music and watch some of your videos as well. And the first thing I watched was I'll Be Fine. And it was this realization of your skills as a vocalist. That chorus has all these high notes that you climb back to, and some of them are really breathy and some of them are really full, and they're all really impressive. Then I found out, oh, you're a very trained vocalist. You really do this. Can you tell me about your background, education-wise and singing-wise, that brought you to be delivering such great vocals?
Well, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Yeah, so I started singing when I was like 12, kind of like your classic like singer upbringing, where I started in the church, and then I started taking voice lessons around 14 and getting a little bit more serious. And then after that, I kind of stopped any type of training and just did it for fun. And then I moved here to Fargo-Moorhead. So I'm originally from Southern California, Riverside, California. And then I moved here my senior year of high school. My dad got a job. And it wasn't until college that I kind of was like, oh yeah, that singing thing that I really liked doing before. And I kind of decided to really have a go at it. So I went to Minnesota State University Moorhead, and I got my degree in jazz studies, which was a really great degree where I kind of studied jazz performance, but then also a little bit of music industry. So yeah, that's kind of where my education journey, I guess.
Let's go back to the feeling of being a junior in high school in California, and Dad goes, "We're moving to Fargo." How did that feel, and how did you first approach coming to this part of the country?
Yeah, it was a mixed bag, a lot of emotions. I had decided when I was younger too, I wanted to go to school in Hollywood and pursue music still. So, it was kind of a bummer that it's like, ugh, now I don't get to do that. But there was also just like so much excitement of like a new place and kind of new people that I get to meet, new opportunities. And I genuinely feel really lucky because this is a lot smaller of an area than California, but there are so many opportunities and like so many chances to kind of fail and fall in a really comfy place and have a community like lift you up. So I feel really, really lucky that I got to do a lot of developmental or like got to develop a lot in this area where people were really encouraging and kind. So it ended up being okay, but it was definitely not the most exciting thing to hear or most happy thing to hear.
Well, I'm glad that you ended up landing on your feet. I actually think Fargo is a fantastic city, period. Fargo-Moorhead, a great metro area. And there's, as you said, there's a lot of opportunities for musicians, and it seems like you're taking a lot of them. I see you've been playing at a lot of breweries, doing outdoor events and things like that. So I'm glad you're feeling supported by this scene, and I can understand why the scene is supporting you, because you sound fantastic. So let's get into this first track. This is I'll Be Fine, Jessica Vines for Sounds Like Home.
If I
Sounds Like Home, and we are hanging out with Jessica Vines out of Fargo Moorhead. You just heard the tune I'll Be Fine, and now we're chatting a little bit. And like I told you, Jessica, the way I got introduced to your music was seeing a performance of that tune, I'll Be Fine. And when I found out that you were a trained vocalist and I thought you were hitting the choruses so well, I sort of thought I knew what I was getting into. I knew what artist I was expecting. But I should know better than that because artists always throw you for a loop. The next thing I checked out was Nice Guys Finish Last, and actually the promo video for that tune. And you're playful and you're with a couple friends and you're doing dance moves. And I often associate like great jazz vocalists with having no sense of humor, no kind of ability to lighten it up a little bit. But it seems like you possess some serious pipes, but also a willingness to kind of be a little sassy. How'd you work that into your repertoire and into your presentation?
Yeah, I do think that when I first graduated college and I first started doing music, I tried to be like really serious and like be like get everyone's respect because I was a serious musician. And then I was like, you know what, this is really not fun and it's not authentic to who I am. So I very quickly was like, if I'm gonna actually make a go at music and like, I mean, so much of being a musician these days is your persona on social media and kind of how you project yourself and your brand. So I thought if I'm going to be able to like sustain any type of social media persona or brand, I'm going to have to be a lot more authentic to myself, which is very goofy and silly. And, you know, I say weird stuff all the time. So, yeah.
Now, do you have people in your ears going, stop saying weird stuff, just go be a cool jazz singer and wear a dress and be solemn? Or do you have people going, go ahead, be you, Jessica, like be everything you are?
You know, I think right away as a kid, my dad did an excellent job of being like, hey, the internet is a new thing, so like don't say anything dumb on it. So he really did like instill a very good level of like boundaries for me with that. So overall, I think most people are pretty cool with it. And I think it's a lot more entertaining too than to be like, come check out my show. It's going to be super cool. To just be, you know, like, I don't know, to feel more personal, I think.
Well, it comes across really well in your social media, and it's coming across well now. Just being, you know, we're talking through computer screens. I'm sitting at a workplace, but you're still giving me good energy, and the songs certainly are as well. I wanted to talk a little bit about this scene in Fargo Moorhead. I've had the chance to be there a couple times and play a couple shows there. My wife is from there. Different from some metro areas I've been to, when you get to Fargo or Moorhead as a musician, people don't go, you got to get me out of here. This place sucks. Like there isn't this sense of like people are trying to leave. The job market is pretty good. There's a lot of breweries. It seems like a lot of musicians who want to work can find the work. So for people who might have some kind of stereotypical, oh, Fargo has got to be a one-horse town, what would you tell them about what the scene is like in Fargo and Moorhead?
You know, that's a really good point. I think I know a lot of people, especially too, like in college, who were like, could not wait to get out of Fargo because Fargo's so small and it's the worst. And I think the biggest thing about any town, like I do think that this goes for any town, is like whatever you invest your time and your energy into, you're going to get back. So like if you want to be a part of the music scene, show up to gigs and like email venues that are advertising shows, you know, like I think Fargo Moorhead is such a great place to get involved in because it's so easy. Like people want to help each other out. And, you know, I haven't actively been a part of very many music scenes outside of Fargo Moorhead. So I guess I can't speak to all of them, but I think it's such like, I think a lot of people get nervous or intimidated at the idea of starting a gig. And it's like, no, all you have to do is like message people, show up, be kind, and things will come back. So yeah, I think like, if you're a musician and, you know, you've really invested in the music scene, it's a hard place to leave because it's just so encouraging and, you know, there are always opportunities to be had. So
that's great. And that's a shining endorsement. And clearly the quality of the music coming out of there is pretty darn good, as evidenced by the way you're sounding. So let's check out another tune. Now, do we like to call this one NGFL or do we like to call it Nice Guys Finish Last? Like, what do you write on the set list when you're actually playing this tune?
So the whole like purpose behind the initials is because I'm lazy. And I was like, Nice Guys Finish Last is such a long song title. So I always call it Nice Guys Finish Last because there's some ambiguity to like with the initials. So I always say Nice Guys Finish Last, but when I'm writing it, it's NGFL.
All right, well, let's check it out. So fun to hear this music. I hope everybody's having a good time with Sounds Like Home VIII. I'm Sean McPherson, and I'm hanging out with Jessica Vines. And Jessica, we just checked out the song NGFL, and this song has a bunch of sass to it, a bunch of fun to it. And I was just kind of curious, when you're making a tune like this or making a tune like Delicious, do you ever have a moment where you're feeling like, would my jazz professor go, what are you doing? You should be running your Mixolydian scale. Or do you just know that you're kind of in the right spot and you're doing it your way?
I'm certain that none of my old professors would say anything negative because they're super kind and encouraging and very cool. But I think, again, like going back, I definitely, when I first graduated, thought I had to like have as many chord extensions on everything and like make everything super harmonically complex. And then, the more I write music, I'm like, that doesn't tell the story though. That doesn't show the emotion. So, I think hopefully they would all be really cool about it and be like, sounds great. You're doing something that makes you happy and you feel like you're able to express yourself. So good for you. That's what I'm going to say.
I love it. Did you have a hard time? A lot of people who make simple music don't know all the things they're leaving on the table. They don't know that they could add these extensions. They could add these flat nines. You are trained in that. You do know that. Did you have a hard time getting out of your way and letting the song win as opposed to letting the theory win when you realized that was where you wanted to go with it?
Totally. Like when I first started writing, I didn't start writing until I was out of college. And it wasn't until like kind of a few months after, because in college, I realized how much I didn't know, and how much I felt uncomfortable with, because music can be so deep and theoretical. And so when I first started writing, it was just kind of utilizing the things that I learned in school. And then, I started being like, maybe this major seventh doesn't sound good, on every time I go to the one chord. So like I started dropping it, and, it's a lot better. And also what happened was one of my musicians that I write a lot with, I actually co-wrote Delicious with. His name's Connor Lee. He's a guitar player. And we went to school together. And he started like dropping some of the extensions during the gigs and just like simplifying the chords himself, and was like, yeah, just kind of like conflicted with what else was going on in the band. So I just took it out. And that was a big like, okay, I don't have to like add all of these things, they're not necessary.
Got you. Well, that's a fantastic path to follow, and it's paying off because it sounds really, really cool. As I was checking out your social media, it does look like you have a release party on the horizon, maybe like in the after times where you're hoping that people can get together in person. Can you give us some details about this release party?
Totally. So right now we've got a release show scheduled for May 1st at TAC Music Venue. We're going to celebrate the new album that's coming out, and also the last album that we put out like right at the beginning of the pandemic. So it's going to kind of be like a full party for everything I've released over the last year. We're really excited about it.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you said early on in your life, your dad said, don't do anything too foolish on the internet. This is kind of a weird place. And now I did see you in a video with your some kind of dog eating a plate of food with you. Is that correct, in the promotions for this Delicious video? Okay. So you didn't follow his rules. But...
No. No, that's funny. Yes. So the music video for Delicious is all about, the whole song is just about being in love with your day to day, and like falling in love with going to the grocery store so you can make dinner for you and your significant other or your friends or whatever. And so the music video kind of walks through that with me, and my boo at the end of the day ends up being a dog, which I think is like way more accurate to most of my friends and like the community I'm around. So yeah, pretty silly, but it gets the point across.
Well, man, what a year to fall in love with the everyday, right? It's a lot. It's for most of us, it's all we have is going to the grocery store and doing these mundane things. If you can work some joy into that, you're doing the right thing. Jessica Vines, you are really talented, really awesome to talk to you, and really excited to hear this last tune was just released within days. Delicious. So let's jump into it. And Jessica, thank you so much for hanging for Sounds Like Home, and congratulations on all the success. And thanks for bringing a little bit of Fargo-Moorhead for everybody in the whole region.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome.
Here appetite just kicked up a notch. This feeling of perfection, like I'm one to show up. I'm one to show up where the flowers grow up. Your scent and your view makes me wanna hold up. I wake up every morning just happy as can be, knowing you're with me. It's a dream life in real time. I write real lines in patterns and designs, inspired by you, so delicious and divine. Like running in a field of flowers, like swimming in your love for hours, like cozy rain from the shower. Would you like to cozy up next to me? I can't wait to get home again, hear about your day and then hold you until we fall asleep and wake up to the dream. Till we wake up, till we wake up, till we wake up to the dream. Yeah. Till we wake up, till we wake up, till we wake up to the dream. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Till we wake up, till we wake up, till we wake up to the dream.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, a virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music from across the state. Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is sponsored by Gardner Builders and made possible by Minnesota's Legacy Amendment and you. Your support keeps the current strong and makes sure that independent music and the emerging artists featured today always have a home on the Current. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org because great music lives here.
Hold and wait for what happens next. Turn away, I'll do what's best. And everything I do, it's another day, just another day this time. Broken fixtures in my head. There's all these things I can't confess. And everything I do, it's another day, just another day this time. I don't want nothing, 'cause I'm fading fast as the night. Don't want any discussions, and I just hope I never see this place again. It's been 2 years, how do you do with that? I just stay inside and try to never leave my bed. The only thing I've known is another day. It's another day till I feel something, but I'm scared of losing the lights that ain't function, and I just hope I never see this place again. Let's go! I guess this is how the story begins. Then it ends. Now they're taking this out to pretend. What a mess, what a And I just hope I never see this place
Welcome to Sounds Like Home. I hope you're having a great time celebrating music from all over Minnesota, and I couldn't be more excited to be hanging out with Gaetano. We just heard their tune, Another Day, and I'm really excited to get to know a little bit more about the group. I want to ask Grant a question about the power of that tune. It seems like a lot of people have connected with it. When I looked on YouTube, everybody was commenting. I came here from Instagram and then I fell in love with the song. Can you tell me a little bit about your inspiration for writing the song and how it's connected with your fans?
That came, I think, is just an obsession with the song Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. I was just obsessed with it for months. I was trying to make something with the power like that. It's just something like, I mean, obviously it's nowhere near as good as that song, but it's that was kind of the inspiration behind it. And then the lyrics came from But I mean, those are probably some of the most personal and favorite lyrics I've ever wrote. So they just kind of synced up. It was kind of it was kind of a happy or a perfect accident, kind of.
Well, you know what? It seems like a pretty great situation because people are really connecting with it, which is fantastic. For I'll put this to everybody, but maybe to Coulter, who's broadcasting from somewhere else as well. When you're figuring out a song like that, and there's some really personal words and personal imagery coming from the writing, how do you find your way into the song? How do you figure out what you're supposed to be doing on a track?
I think it's always a collaborative thing. I mean, I'll send over something, and then everyone kind of has their own feel into it too. They'll know if it's great or they'll know if it's bad, and maybe I don't realize it's bad until months later. A lot of times. So you kind of have to step away from it, and I think that one we kind of knew right away that it was going to be special. And I feel like the first time we played it live too, I remember I was just in our practice space. And we hit the chorus, just like we all kind of like knew the song, but we were like really rehearsing heavy, and we're like, wow, this is special. And I don't think any other song that we have makes us feel like that, I think. I don't know, on behalf of the rest of the guys, I don't know, but yeah, playing it, yeah.
Yeah, it's magical.
Really like translates well live too. It's just got this like energy that does really well when it's in front of people, so.
I imagine that the music you guys make has got to be a slam dunk to be in front of people, but that's been a hard commodity to come by in the last year. I appreciate you doing these things with these virtual sessions, and I know that a lot of bands are making their way. What are you looking forward to about getting in front of proper crowds again? What's the thing you're most longing for as far as getting back into a live venue setting?
Well, I don't know. I just find it like it's like there's no job like it really. Like the catharticism with it, like people how they feel when they hear the songs. Like it almost feels like we're like kind of like working like for them, if that makes sense. Like it's not even all about the money either. Like obviously, money's a good thing, but like just that emotional response that you get from the crowd is really good.
And I think when you're missing out on it for the past year, it's like you feel like a band, but at the same time you don't. It's like your main thing that you do. You kind of forget you're even a performer. Like sometimes I'll look back at like an old show and be like, wow, we can do that. Like I kind of forgot, because it's been so long. So it's kind of funny how that happens. But yeah, we're just pumped to get back in front of people, and that's just. That's like the period to the sentence. Like that's the reason why you make music. You got like to share it with people, because if you're not sharing it with people, you're just sitting in your room making it for no one, which is it's not helping anyone. Maybe yourself, but yeah.
I feel you completely. And, even when we don't actually get to be in front of people, flesh and blood wise, the music you're making is still helping a lot of people. And we're so glad to be sharing it with everybody. Let's get into another tune and then we'll talk more. But let's jump into this next one. This is Please Say No. Do you want to say anything about this song or the composition of this song before we get into hearing y'all perform it?
I think it's the fastest song we ever wrote. I mean, the buy was like probably 10 minutes, and that never happens. Usually it's just like tirelessly months of working on stuff, but that first intro was like a 10-minute thing. And we're like, yeah, this is it. Wait, now we go from there. So.
And it used to be called Pink Hotels. And then,
true, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that name's better. So, but.
Well, we'll put a slash there. We're just feeling like it could be both today, but let's jump into it. It's Please Say No, Gaetano for Sounds Like Home VIII.
You send shivers down my spine. cutting your teeth and working all the time. Hear you say you won't say no, oh, to anything. I feel so insane. Just today, please say no. Oh, I'm trying to, but your time is almost gone. Time is almost gone. Time is almost gone, and all that is lost is falling way far. The hypo comes reacts when I've been out, because it's so bad. You say you won't say no, oh, to anything. I feel so insane. Just today, please say no. Oh, I try to, but the time is almost gone. And I don't want to talk.
It sounds like Home VIII, and that is Please Say No, or perhaps Pink Hotels. I'm hanging out with Gaetano, and I hope everybody's having a fantastic weekend of enjoying this music. And I'm really excited to hear some more music from Gaetano. But I want to get an understanding of where y'all are from. It seems like you connected at Sartell High School, if I understand, but clearly you're broadcasting from different spots today. Coulter, where are you at right now, and how did you connect with this group?
Yeah, I'm currently in Duluth, Minnesota right now. I am just finishing my last semester of school up here. And yeah, I originally connected with Grant way back, probably like 4th, 5th grade. Had some good birthday sleepovers back then, and honestly just been good friends since, and then joined the band in high school.
Gotcha. And how about the story of the band in general? How did y'all connect?
Well, me and Grant, we're brothers.
Yeah, so we connected pretty early on.
Yeah.
Ran into each other in the kitchen and were like, hey, how you doing? How's everything going?
Then Isaac came over probably when he was probably 12 or 13, and we've just never not been in a band since. Or that makes sense? Not been?
Well, yeah.
No, we've been, yeah. That was a bad way of putting it, but we've been in a band ever since then.
I got it loud and clear. And is the base of operations still Sartell? Is that when you guys are talking about your rehearsal space? Is that where you're headquartered at?
We moved to Minneapolis like 3 years ago, so
got you.
We've been here. I mean, yeah, for a while now.
Yeah.
As you've been navigating being a Minnesota band, and clearly you are building a national profile as well, what do you connect with about the Minneapolis scene and about the Minnesota scene in general? And what did growing up in Sartell, how did that impact your music?
Well, in around like St. Cloud, there's some a good guy, a friend of ours, Michael Shines. He's kind of coming up now, but there wasn't a whole lot of like local music there, so you kind of had to look more towards the cities for stuff like that growing up. And then Minnesota music in general, we love Prince and like their replacements and
yeah, Hippo Camp. I mean, there's so many cool bands. I mean, we're just kind of grateful to be. I mean, living like a couple blocks away from First Ave, which is nuts. You know, like I don't think a lot of people get to have such a legendary place kind of in your backyard. So yeah, I mean, we love being a Minneapolis band for sure.
Well, that's spectacular, and we love what y'all are up to, and really glad to be sharing some of that music with everybody. Now, you have some more music in the works, including a tune called She Knows that should be dropping a little bit later this year. And Grant, it seems like you have directly been connecting with John Gilmore, who's done a lot of production work for the 1975. How did that connection happen? And then what has that working relationship been like? How has it been changing the process?
Basically, it's kind of funny. I mean, I literally reached out to him on Instagram and just messaged him and said, hey, there's no cool way to send anyone a song, but check this out if you want, you know. And then he's like, cool, man, I'll check it out. Like, he's just like the nicest dude. And he digged it, and he's like, yeah, I'd love to work on it. And so he mixed it, and it was an unbelievable experience. The guy is so good. And it's I think it's fun knowing you're not the best person in the room when you know someone's so much better than you, and you can just be like, just do it because I will never be that good. So it feels good to be like, you know, instead of, I think that's kind of been a bonus to the whole experience. But yeah, he's awesome. Hopefully some more songs down the pipeline that we can work with him again on. But
that's a fantastic experience. And also it's a lot of people hire experts and they still tell them what to do. And it sounds cool that you had the vibe of going, I'm going to be selfless and go, okay, cool. Clearly you got your game together. Let me see what you're up to and figure out how we can fit into that. For everyone from Gaetano, what's next for the group? You know, obviously sort of twiddling thumbs a little bit till you can figure out how to get back out and play. But what do you think the next, 18 months holds for the group?
Well, this next song, I mean, the song's coming out mid-May, and we did the full video in Vegas a couple months ago, so we're just kind of ramping up for that and just really doing the release right as much as we can, really take our time on it and make sure it's exactly kind of every detail that the way we want it, and hopefully shows pretty soon here. But
and we got about 3 more singles ready to go with videos. So
yeah, we've considered the idea of an EP. Nothing set in stone, but we definitely have enough songs to release a big body of work. So I think the next 18 months are going to be pivotal for the group. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's kind of all coming together now. I mean, everything takes longer. I guess with anything kind of out of the ordinary, it just takes longer than you ever expect, so, but it's great. I mean, we're ready to go, and the music, I mean, the levee is not dry with the new music we're writing, so it's good. Yeah, we got a lot more songs coming up.
Well, let me give y'all some words of encouragement, because to be a young band at this really trying time as far as the pandemic and navigating that, to know that you're putting stuff in the hopper and that you're continuing to make content and make videos, it's Yeah, I know it's always an uphill battle. If it was easy, everybody would be being in a band and doing this, and it's not.
Right, exactly.
But I imagine that this year for a young band, it's more trying than I could probably ever imagine from my years playing music. I want to tip my hat to y'all, commend y'all on continuing to make awesome music. Can't wait to hear more of it, including this track right now. So we're going to close with Fall Back in Your Arms. Again, a song that you've gotten some great reception from your fans. Is there anything you want to say about this tune before we jump into your performance?
Well, we end most of our sets with this song, concert-wise. Yeah, it's a really good one to end on. I mean, people are jumping, and yeah.
I think it was, I was 17 when I wrote it or something, maybe. And then we recorded it as a band probably senior year of high school, so it's older, and it's so unconventional too. It just, like, I never write a song like that anymore because it's so weird. It's accessible, but at the same time, like, the sections are weird and the way it kind of flows is weird, but we're kind of grateful for it. And, maybe in the future we're thinking about redoing it too, doing like some more production on it and maybe have Gilmore mix it or something. So who knows?
Well, even if y'all are at your house, how about you start jumping around? Because that's how we like to close the Gaetano shows. This is Fall Back in Your Arms. Sounds Like Home VIII. Rock on. Thank you so much, Gaetano. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the...
Can't shake this thought because nothing inside the sea. Just a room with no one there. Only lip songs to sing. Only the fear it starts to stay. And the spark in your eye is fades in the lights they see them. Searching, but I'm still waiting to fall back in your arms again. And I am my own searching, but I'm still waiting to fall back in your arms again. Still waiting to fall back in your arms again. And I am my own soldier, but I'm still waiting to fall back in your arms again. Say, let's go. That is all I ever want.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, a virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music from across the state. Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is sponsored by Gardner Builders and made possible by Minnesota's Legacy Amendment and you. Your support keeps the current strong and makes sure that independent music and the emerging artists featured today always have a home on the Current. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org because great music lives here.
Hello, I'm Maddie, sitting down with Corey Medina of Corey Medina and Brothers Band here on the 8th edition of Sounds Like Home. You just heard them perform their song 1974. Thanks for being here today, Corey.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Gonna jump right into the next one. Here is Repo. story. Thank you again for sitting down today. Let's jump right into it. One thing that I really liked is that you refer to your band as brothers, even though you guys aren't necessarily like biologically related brothers. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that means to you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm Navajo native from the South, and from Shiprock, New Mexico, born and raised on a Navajo reservation, moved straight to northern Minnesota from there. You know, being a place where I'm not really a minority, you know, the Navajo Nation being the biggest reservation in the U.S., you know, I'm very fortunate that being my people and my land. But then I come up here, and then all of a sudden I'm a minority again, or for the first time in my life, I'm like, wow. Like I encourage natives to kind of get out there and not leave home and get away from home, but kind of like get out and like anybody see other cultures and kind of get some perspective. So with that, you know, I kind of clung on to, you know, thankfully to the surrounding tribes here in Bemidji, Red Lake, Cache Lake, and White Earth, who have really taken me under their wing and made me feel safe in this area, as well as people like my brothers and people who aren't blood related to me, but in spirit. There's someone that, you know, people you can confide in. And but where all that comes from too is just kind of the biggest philosophy of, well, not philosophy, but just the motto of our band is brothers before bandmates. So we want to, as tight and as cool as we can be on stage. For me, as whatever leader I am for the band, my priority is that we're good off stage as well as we are on stage, whoever I play with. And I'm very fortunate to have the guys I'm with. There's 3 generations of my band, me being the youngest. Mm-hmm. And these guys have really took me under their wing. But there's probably about a good 90 years of gigging experience within our band because of those 2. But man, they're awesome. They're humble souls. And I want to be more and more like them the more and more I grow as a musician. And I'm very glad to have them. They've been with me for about 3 or 4 years. And they've both known and played with me since I've even moved to this community 8 or 9 years ago. So
yeah, you kind of touched on this, but it sounds like Bemidji has a really strong arts, or your involvement in the Bemidji arts community has been really strong. What are your favorite parts about the music scene in Bemidji?
Honestly, what's drawn me to these parts of where I'm involved at, and I'll be honest, and people from Bemidji might think I'm weird for saying this, but man, it's the dark. It's the darkness. It's the sadness. It's the pain. And I got to work. I was very fortunate to work for a really cool youth and family services nonprofit organization here in town. And my office was at the crisis shelter, you know, and I worked with. And my program worked with just, you know, teens and preteens struggling with addiction problems and alcohol and, you know, skipping school because they'd rather go, you know, party or not come home from parties and things like that. So just working with kids like that. So right away, when I moved to this community, I was exposed kind of in a way really quick to like kind of the dark side, the dark and not dark, but just the real sides of this community. And I'm not going to say dark because, man, a lot of these families and people are going through this stuff are beautiful people. And like, and to be honest, a lot of them are natives too. So, and that's another thing that really draws me to those artsy parts. And, you know, people can call me racist as much as they want, but I'm native and I push native and I'm pro native. And that's who's been really taking care of me here as well, being on their land, you know, and being in their territory. So, that's really my favorite part is the realness. And when I say realness, that means all the junk that comes with it. Right now, Bemidji's kind of our higher ups are more prioritizing like being a touristy and like Paul and Babe and all this. And that's cool. Like, you know, I bought my daughter a cute Paul and Babe sweater. But really, I feel like it's really the First Nations people who have been leading and are going to continue to lead that. Just awesome, like revolution in all areas artistically. And so that's my favorite part of this community is just seeing the realness and seeing the tensity. And I'm in the deep north, you know, it's, you know, so I'm seeing change, but within that, you also see the turmoil as you guys are experiencing right now down there too. So, but that's also what my music and what draws my music to where I want to go. You know, I'm not just trying to be a jukebox or trying to get on the late night show, you know, so, yeah.
Absolutely. It seems like there's a really strong tie between the work that you do within the community, as you were talking with like the crisis shelter work, and your music. How do you feel like that relationship works between your art and your activism or your community support?
I think it goes hand in hand because for me, I wasn't in my musical upbringing. Was right along the same side as my spiritual upbringing, which means I learned how to play music not for myself. I learned how to play music for something bigger than me. I was always, I was taught and almost, I wouldn't say chastised, but man, I was, my pride was and my ego was always kept in check, and that's something a lot of musicians don't get when they're learning. All they're doing is just watching Jimi Hendrix videos and Van Halen videos, and they're just getting so enamored with the lifestyle, but I'm very thankful that in my upbringing and my art, it's from a place of utilizing that darkness and that pain, and then seeing the healing from it. And then if there is healing there, it's like cool, like wow, I can sing. Okay, I can play guitar. Wow, these lyrics are coming to me, man. I'm feeling this. Oh, wow, these people felt these lyrics. And that's how it started. And that's how I kind of go about, like I said, about my music. I can't write a song about a sandwich if you told me to. I'm not one of those guys, Unless that sandwich had a family and they burned up in a house, maybe I might be able to, But it's like, I play out of pain. And if you were to hear me sing, and I'm not just like acting. If you're to hear me sing, it sounds painful sometimes because it is painful. I have to I'm not one of those like, ooh, like I can just sing just like, like that. I have to like push my voice, and I have to hurt for it to sound good, for it to sound the way I want to. So, and I think that just reflects my upbringing, the darkness I come from, the darkness in my family and in my personal life.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that your sort of personal healing and growth kind of radiates beyond that through your music. That is an incredible outlook on your process. We have one more song with you here on Sounds Like Home, and it's going to be the song Home. Do you have anything you want to tell our audience about that song?
With the pandemic, man, I haven't been home in almost 2 years. I haven't seen my grandparents. I'm really glad that they're vaxxed up.
That's awesome.
I'm glad that COVID didn't get them. Man, my reservation got hit pretty hard. And kind of this new place I call home right now, with all the tension and just with the tone of the world right now trying to change, this second home lately doesn't feel like home no more, and I'm super homesick. A lot of us are, who've been stuck at home, can't see our family. My drummer hasn't seen his mom in over a year. My parents live up here with me. My family lives up here with me, thankfully. And man, you're not supposed to be away from your tribal lands this long. You're not supposed to be away from your homeland this long. And so that's another reason why I haven't been wanting to play it lately too, because I can't get through this song without crying and without my voice shaking. And I don't care what people think when I wear my heart on my sleeve, because I'm not wearing it for them. I'm wearing it for God. I'm wearing it for who I'm singing. I'm wearing it for the person out there who feels like they want to cry too. So that's home.
Corey Medina, thank you so much for sharing yourself and opening up and sharing your music with us. Thank you so much. And here is Home on the current Sounds Like Home Volume 8.
Look out my window, I see you coming near. Just the sight of your face takes away my fear. Open up my door, won't you come on in? Not to embrace you with my arms would be such a sin. With you, we are home. It's getting late, sun is going down. I'm home alone, ain't no one around. Think about your love, I wanna give you a call. I need your love here with me before I fall. Because when I'm with you, I feel like I'm home. I'm home. Hey. Moon is out, ain't no one around, and I know your kind of love is the best I've ever found. I want you here, I want you in my home. I want you here with me, not just because I'm alone, but because when I'm with you, when I'm with you, I feel like I'm home. I'm home. Look out my window, see you coming near. Just the sight of your face takes away my feet. Open up my door, won't you come on in? Not to embrace you with my arms would be such a sin. Yeah. Now you're here.
Thanks for tuning in to Sounds Like Home, a virtual festival celebrating Minnesota music from across the state. Sounds Like Home and the artists performing during the festival is sponsored by Gardner Builders and made possible by Minnesota's Legacy Amendment and you. Your support keeps the current strong and makes sure that independent music and the emerging artists featured today always have a home on the Current. All Sounds Like Home sessions will be archived at thecurrent.org because great music lives here.